A new year is coming for you, Gemini. 2021 has been a year of lessons with all the action happening in your ninth house of higher education, philosophy, and religion. Chances are this was a year of many journeys, some difficult and some much easier. Still, you've made a move, you're in a new place now, but 2022 continues to be a mystery. Instead of going at it just hoping for the best, here's some insight that will help you navigate the roads of this coming year like a pro. Since Jupiter ingressed into your 10th house in December and it will stay there all the way until the May of 2022, things should start to look really good when it comes to your career. However, the first few months should still be a little slow, given the Venus retrograde happening in your 8th house. This can make it a little challenging to work with other people, mostly if you rely on their support to make any significant moves. As far as January goes, it's best to assume a humble position and lay low a little. If anything you need to ask your boss, wait until February when Venus goes direct. This is not any significant challenge since Jupiter is in your 10th house anyways, but I'm sure you'd rather be safe than sorry. Once Venus goes direct, things start to look up even more, especially since Mars will also be in Capricorn, his sign of exaltation. This can make it easier for you to assert your presence and make demands. If you're trying to get anyone's help, late February will be the time. Still, as far as the first quarter goes, the focus won't stray too far from establishing your public persona and getting noticed in your career field. Things do start to switch gears later in March with the first Mars and Uranus square of the year. This is happening in your 9th house of higher education and distant journeys. If you're a student, this could represent some minor setbacks. Since this is also around exam time, there could be a sense of anxiety and instability, though nothing to be super worried about. However, if any adventurous Gemini is planning on going on a trip around that month, it probably would be best to delay it a bit if possible. It's better to be cautious and not test your luck too much. The transit is happening between some of the more inactive places in your chart, but Uranus is still very unpredictable. This March sticky situation doesn't last for long, though. Right after these two planets separate, Jupiter and Venus will be conjoining in your 10th house. This is perhaps the most positive transit of the year, and it could be very promising. You can expect public recognition, prestige, and even getting some extra support from your superiors. These are the two most fortunate planets getting together, so the sky is limit. With that considered, if any of you Gemini are planning on asking for a raise, April would be the best time to do so. Jupiter won't just be good for your career, though. After he's done with your 10th house, he will ingress into the 11th around May. This is the house where Jupiter does the best, and he usually manifests within the life of individuals many meaningful connections. This is also a transit that lasts all the way to early 2023, so you know you're in for a blessed cycle. Expect to meet new friends who inspire you to light up your inner fire. This could also be an excellent transit for those of you who have been trying to build a following on social media. Since the pandemic, a lot of new online businesses and influencers have been popping up. So, this could also be a good time for you to get the attention you deserve. Things do start to get a little rocky and unstable once we approach August, however. There's triple conjunction between Uranus, Mars, and the North Node happening in your 12th house. This transit can point towards some opposition. People who don't see eye to eye with you may show up, and things can get a little heated. Meditation and grounding will be your best allies around that time since the increased energy in that house can cause a cloudy mind and some anxiety to pop up. It would be wise to avoid conflict, as it could be harder to resolve it amicably. Things continue in that rocky groove with the final Saturn and Uranus square happening between your 9th and 12th house. This is a recap of some events that occurred last year. This transit is responsible for many of the more significant events of 2021, so it's likely coming back to close up some unfinished business. The main focus of this transit will be readjustment. After the big transition that you went through in 2021, there likely hasn't been enough time for things to sink in. As much as this transit is happening towards the end of the year before was no small task. Getting used to this new life will surely take some time, and this square, in many ways, is here to manifest obstacles to shifting your attention to things you may be overlooking. This is no mere drama. It's valuable growth. After these two last not-so-spectacular transits, the year comes to an end in quite a calm fashion. Jupiter will go retrograde back into your 10th house to give you his last handful of career opportunities, though in a much more subtle way. This is the kind of good fortune that comes from understanding where you are in your journey and how far you've come. Since this is aligning up pretty nicely with the time when Jupiter first ingressed into that house, this suggests the need to go inwards and reflect on what to do with all the divine protection you got this year. Though this is not unusual for an end of the year, 2023 will be a completely new saga for the whole world, so it's instrumental in taking the time to think about what the next steps will be. Overall, this is the theme of 2022, planning your next giant leap of faith. Thank you so much for watching. Please give us a thumb up if you liked the video. Subscribe our YouTube channel not to miss the next video horoscope. Visit our website, go to horoscope.com, where you can find actual horoscope for today. Download our apps from Google Play and App Store to have your daily horoscope always on hand.